Hey everybody, my name is Vicky and this is my very first class on my new YouTube channel all about sewing. And for today's project, since it's the first class for everybody, including myself, I figured I would go easy on all of us and do something, the simplest thing you can do as a beginner sewer, which is scrunchies. Everybody loves a good scrunchie, right? So let's get started. What you need for this project is 18 by 4-inch piece of fabric, and I got this fabric right over at Hobby Lobby, so it's real easy to get. Scissors, roller cutter, and an 8-inch by 1/4-inch piece of elastic. Okay, let's get started.
She liked to laugh and joke around.
So what you want to do first is that I have my fabric right side down. This is the wrong side, this is the right side, right here. So I'm going to place the right side down. And how you want to start is fold the edges a 1/4 inch down, and you can stitch right along this raw edge here, and you're going to do that on both sides. Fold it 1/4 inch down and stitch right along that raw edge, or you can iron it down to make sure it stays down, or you can just finger press it and make sure it stays down. But I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and stitch it so that it stays down, and I'm going to go stitch that and I'll be right back. So now that I have the edges stitched down in place, my fabric is still right side down. So now what I want to do is take it and fold it right sides together. And then I'm going to stitch right along this long edge on the raw edges right there. So now I have the long edge stitched in place. And now I want to turn my fabric right side out. So I'm going to take this safety pin and I'm just going to attach it to one side of the fabric and fold that in and work my fabric through. And pull it out the other end right there. So now that I have my fabric right side out, I want to insert my elastic. And I got this at Hobby Lobby as well. I'm just going to cut that 8 inches. And I'm going to take my safety pin again, attach it to one end of my elastic.
Her murder was pretty shocking.
And I'm just going to insert that right inside the tube. And what I want to do is make sure that the other end of it does not get sucked into the fabric. So I'm just going to go grab a clip.
It was not in one stab wound that ended her life. It was a combination. Although for detectives,
And I have this clip right here holding the other end of the elastic. and my safety pin is right about there, and I'm going to work the elastic through.
Detectives believe the wounds to the baby are no coincidence.
It seemed like not only an attack on the mother, but the child too.
But who would want to harm both mother and child? With the baby
So now I can take the safety pin off. My elastic is all the way through. And now what I want to do,
Her soon-to-be ex-husband, Thomas Anderson.
I hope you can see that. I have both ends sticking out of the tube, and then I'm going to overlap
Put a call out to Thomas
just like this,
Sometimes the people
and then I'm going to stitch across this length area here, and I'll show you a trick on how to stitch that on your machine since your elastic is so small. So let's go over to the sewing machine, and you're going to stitch right across the length of the elastic. Okay? Okay, so what I have here is just a tiny piece of paper that I'm going to place right under my elastic so that it doesn't get sucked into the sewing plate. And I'm making sure that my elastic is overlapping, and I have my piece of paper under the elastic. And I'm going to put that right under my machine, right here. And then I'm just going to use a straight stitch to stitch right across the elastic. And I'm gonna stitch through it maybe about 4 times just to make sure that it stays together well. I hope you can see that, but it's just a little piece of paper is right under my elastic. So I'm going to start with a back stitch, and I'm just doing a straight stitch. And my elastic is small, so I'm not going to be stitching forever. And I'm going to do that about 4 times over my elastic to give it staying power, I guess you could say. And this will make your scrunchies last long because my hair is pretty thick, and I like to make sure my scrunchies can hold up to a beating. So, let me see. And that was about 4 times right there. So I'm going to take that out. And now I can take this little piece of paper and just tear it right off there. Now what you want to do to finish off your scrunchie is take these 2 raw ends that you stitched down in the beginning, and you want to overlap these 2 edges right here. Just overlap them just like that. And then what you want to do is finish off your scrunchie by stitching those 2 edges down. And I'm going to try to stitch into that stitch that I used to stitch down that 1/4 inch fold. And the elastic is fine, it's in there. Back stitch, and then finish it off. And back stitch. And now you have a brand new scrunchie. And now that you have your brand new scrunchie, you can wear it right away. Night out on the town, huh? Who doesn't love a good scrunchie? Perfect. Thanks for joining me in my very first class, and I hope you subscribe and like if you do like it, and look for more posts and notifications.